What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Tuesday night Q&A hangout where we're just kind of waiting, chilling between rookie minicamp and mandatory minicamp in mid-June. I think there's another round of OTAs that are going to be happening here sometime this month, maybe even a couple of them. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, if I type in Chiefs OTAs 2025 dates, I think we have some things going on. May 27th through 29th, June 2nd through June 4th, and then the 10th through the 13th. Mandatory minicamp is going to be June 17th through the 19th. So you do have some workouts, training sessions that are going to be had. I don't think all of them are going to be available to the media, but I will say I think some Chiefs players are definitely going to be speaking at these events given time with the media and all that stuff. So that'll at least be fun. That'll give us something to kind of look into, and monitor, and just, maybe the Chiefs will make some other moves along their 90-man roster, but I don't really anticipate anything major happening. But there we are. That's kind of where we're at. Of course, tomorrow night is the schedule release. So that's fun. We already know that the Chiefs are playing in Brazil. Week 1, reportedly, against the Chargers. Then Christmas night is going to be Amazon Prime game, Broncos, Chiefs. So the Broncos are coming to Arrowhead. So we do know those. And, honestly, maybe since I was upstairs having dinner with the fam, we missed another date release, but I don't think so. Those are the main ones that I know that are basically for sure. What's interesting to note is I'll screen share with you so you can see it, and then we'll just chat and hang out and see how you guys are doing. Talk Chiefs. This is interesting. The NFL today announced that YouTube will stream the Friday night game. So this has been a rumor that was reported and kind of floating around, but did get confirmed today by all the insiders that YouTube is going to stream the Chiefs and Chargers game. They haven't confirmed 1,000% that it's the Chiefs, but it's the Chiefs. And it's going to be available basically for free worldwide on YouTube. The first exclusive NFL game to be streamed live and for free. That's crazy. I mean, I'll be streaming during that, obviously, on YouTube, kind of reacting to the game. Hopefully the platform can handle it. I would assume if any streaming platform can handle something that massive, it's going to actually be YouTube. If you guys remember Netflix with Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and Mike Tyson, there were so many streaming numbers that the app basically wouldn't respond and it wouldn't work. I think YouTube would be fine. I think it's going to be able to handle it, but it's still going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out. Will that impact anything in the future? Everybody else wants to paywall their games. Pay for this, sign up. YouTube's like, nah, we'll do it for free. That's crazy. I mean, they also have a massive deal going with the NFL through YouTube TV, but it's still a very interesting thing. W to YouTube for doing that. Exactly, Roomby. How's everybody today? What's up, Logan? How are you? You don't have to pay for Peacock. You do not. Not for this game. Last year, it was paywalled behind Peacock. The Brazil game was, and that was Eagles-Packers. Jennifer, thanks so much for the gifted. Terry with the gifted as well. Appreciate both of you. Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. What's up, Nafis? I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Said, how about the Chiefs? I just can't wait for the season. I'm hyped as hell. We own the Eagles. Well, I mean, the Eagles kicked our in the Super Bowl, but I mean, there normally is a pretty good fight. I would have liked a better fight, yes, in Super Bowl 59, but it is what it is. Does anyone know if the Chiefs game schedule will be released tomorrow? Yeah, they'll start sprinkling more releases throughout the day, and then there will be a certain time when all the teams, I think at the same time, release their schedule release videos. This is a freaking genius idea, by the way, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. To Coach Gruden from the Tampa Bay Bucks, unbox the 2025 schedule tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central, I believe. That's 8 Eastern. If they got John Gruden to do their schedule release video, that is going to be that's going to be some content. We already know that the Chargers social media team is goated, basically. They're going to have a great schedule release. We will see about the Chiefs. I feel like their social media team is fantastic when it comes to documentary, cinematic storytelling type stuff like the franchise. But I don't know if they're the most creative team that will drop a schedule release video tomorrow. I could be wrong. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, and that's no shade to anybody working over there. But typically it's going to be the Chargers. They'll kind of lead the pack. But yeah, we'll see what else happens. You guys remember 2 years ago, was it the Falcons schedule release video where they were asking people to name teams' logos on the side of the street, and they would just hold up the logo and say, "What team is this?" You guys remember that? It was one of the best ones. We definitely, if it's not the Falcons, we need to find who it is and watch it because it's great. Then they had the same lady. They had the same lady that went viral in that schedule release video host the one the next year. I don't think it was the Falcons. We got to figure out whose it is, though. What's up, Jeremy? How's everybody doing? How you guys doing? How did they produce the franchise, but they keep it vanilla with everything else? I think it's intentional. I think the Chiefs, they like clean. I'm talking social media. They like clean. They like professional. I think you got to look at your target audience too. I would probably say the Chiefs' average target audience is 45, 40 plus white male. I mean, it obviously, there's all kinds of ages, male, female, all kinds of ethnicities as well. But I'm just saying, like, your target audience. If I would pull up my target audience on this YouTube channel, I think it's probably largely 30 plus, predominantly male in the US. But there are plenty of younger kids that watch my YouTube shorts. And it kind of just goes all the way up the age spectrum. And then there's obviously ladies. There's ladies in here every stream. I mean, we got Ocean Girl in here. We got Allie. We got Jennifer. We got Julia. But I just think if you look at some of the other teams and like their target audience, like you look at Atlanta or maybe the Chargers, I just feel like some of their audience might be a bit younger, or at least who they're catering to online. I don't want to come across as, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just, when you reverse engineer analytics and look at target audience and stuff, you just kind of look at that and you want to help cater to your core. But who knows? Maybe they'll do something super insane and we'll love it. I will say this, as long as they keep doing the franchise episodes that they do, I'm all for it. Speaking of like cinematic episodes, did you guys see that the Chiefs, this was already confirmed, but they dropped a trailer. One of the most storied franchises in football history gives us an inside look into a modern day dynasty. ESPN did a season-long documentary, probably pulling a lot of footage from the franchise on the Kansas City Chiefs in their quest for the three-peat. Now, we obviously know they fell short. we know that. But still, they documented the entire season, so that's pretty cool. Cade's 25. What's up, Cade? If you look at Clark Hunt, everything the Chiefs do makes sense. Just think back to when they released Kareem and why. Yeah, I think what the Chiefs are very calculated. They're very measured. And it's not only Clark Hunt, too. I think it's just Andy Reid. It kind of trickles down. They're old school. It's fine. They win. Like, what do we really care about? A more creative social media team or something, or W's? I think we all like the W's. And honestly, the Chiefs still have some creative stuff. It's like on their TikTok, but yeah. So, I mean, all we care about is W's at the end of the day. Kyle with the 5-bomb. What's up, man? Just want to say thank you for all your support in regard to the loss of my uncle. Oh, wow. I really appreciate you guys. Oh, I definitely missed that. If you talked about it in the Discord, I missed it. Yeah, Kyle. Shoot, man. Loss is never easy. It's never something that I love or would wish upon anybody, rather. The sting of death, man. Super Orion. What's up, man? Thank you for the 13 months. Let's go. Kyle, thanks again for the 5-bomb. Chiefs got further towards a three-peat than any other team. Nothing to sneeze at. for sure. There's a reason why no team that have won 2 Super Bowls in a row ever even made it back to a 3rd Super Bowl. That's not like a moral victory thing, because it is hats off to the Eagles. They earned it. They deserve that win. But there's just a reason why no team's ever even made it to 3 in a row before. It's freaking hard. There's a reason why making it back to back Super Bowls is quite an impressive feat. That hasn't been done a lot either. It's very hard to get there. Terry said, seriously, how do you think the Chiefs will perform overall this year? Lots of nail-biting last year. Yeah, I want our team to be awesome again. It's interesting. I just think the Chiefs were so talented, even from a coaching standpoint, that in spite of all the injuries the Chiefs went through early, that derailed a bunch of plans. Isaiah Pacheco, Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, Jalen Watson. I'm probably missing an injury, but those were like the 4 pretty big ones. And then the revolving door at the left tackle spot. They were still able to kind of pull wins out of there. Like, you're like, yeah, you had no business winning that game. Yet, you kept it close, and you still won. There's a couple things that was just fluky, like the Raiders fumbled at the end of the game. I think they were in field goal range to potentially win it. They fumbled on one of the last snaps, and the Chiefs recovered one blocked field goal. That wasn't fluky. That was Leo Chanel studying film and noticing a tendency from that one guy he pushed over and blocked that field goal on. I was just looking back, like Isaiah Likely's toe was pretty crazy. That would have tied the game week 1. They would have had to go for 2 in order to win. They were going to go for 2. What else? The doink, when Matthew Wright doinked in that field goal in one of the Chargers games, like that was a 31-yarder that he almost missed, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, a lot of close games, but even saying all that, they still figured it out enough to make it back to the Super Bowl. I mean, Bills were Super Bowl favorites all year in the AFC. One of the top teams, it was either them or the Ravens. Go look at the power rankings back half of the season. It's either the Ravens or the Bills. I'm specifically talking AFC. I thought the Eagles were going to make it to the Super Bowl. They were going to be Super Bowl contenders since like week 10 on. I was like, yeah, the Eagles are going to be in the Super Bowl. It's either the Eagles or the Lions. The Lions got decimated with injuries, couldn't even make it past the Commanders, and that's much respect to the Commanders because they're doing great things, and Jaden Daniels is helping them reach new heights that franchise hasn't reached in quite some time. So that's super exciting for them, but that Lions team was so decimated. I think I said a while, like I was like, oh, Chiefs-Eagles rematch? Let's go. I thought it would be a little bit more competitive. But still, yeah, a lot of close games. I think this year they moved to address some of those issues so the games hopefully aren't as close at times. And that's just addressing the biggest weaknesses along the roster. You beef up the secondary. They can hold more in coverage in theory. Not hold like draw a flag hold, but stick more in coverage. Be a bit more sticky. Allow the pass rush to get home because it was largely the same defensive line last year from 2 years ago. And their numbers, if you look at their sacks and a lot of their advanced metrics, they dropped off quite a bit. And you could say, oh, well, that's Chris Jones. He's washed. I think if you watch the film and you watch the games, that's definitely not what happened. What happened was Trent McDuffie wasn't first-team All-Pro in the slot. They had him outside. They traded away Snead. Jalen Watson broke his ankle. And then you had Chamari Connor trying. That's where I was going with that phrase. You had Chamari Connor trying to hold it down in the slot. That wasn't working. And then any other non-Trent McDuffie cornerback out there, they were targeting and kind of bullying. And if the pass rush was going to get home, you could just kind of throw F at balls. And I think beefing up the cornerback room, which they did, Jalen Watson, healthy. Trent McDuffie, awesome, let's go. You sign Christian Fulton, you draft Noel Williams. That's great. That's going to help with the pass rush. And then you added 2 guys to the pass rush anyway. Omar Norman-Lott, Ashton Gelati, DT and defensive end. You have Omenihu back on a 1-year deal. He's going to be playing pissed off. He's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder, because he's going to
want that bag. He's going to want that bag, all that money, that cash money.
I don't know why I decided to do a deep voice with that, but he's going to want that bag. He's going to want money. He's going to want to cash in next year on a big multi-year deal. Cole, where do you rank the Chiefs dynasty all time? Marcus said, bro, what? Wow. Chiefs dynasty all time. I think if you look at a 5-6 year run, they might have had the greatest 5 or 6 year run. When you break down the dynasties, I mean, you've had the Cowboys. I think, would it be the Packers before that? That's like just a little out of my time. Then you had the Patriots part A and part B. I mean, some people that just hate the Chiefs are going to argue Patriots fans are going to argue that the Patriots had the greatest dynastic run. They've all been like a good 5 to 7 year run. I think 5 Super Bowls in 6 years for the Chiefs. Is that what it is? 28. They've made a conference championships every year in a row. Made it to all these Super Bowls, won 3. I mean, you could definitely make a case that this is the greatest dynasty we've ever seen, but it's not done yet. And people try to overlook the fact that the Patriots kind of had 2 major impactful 5-7 year runs. They went 10 years without a Super Bowl. I think they might have went to one, but they went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl. They were still up there, but that's a big gap, you know? It's a pretty big gap. Buck and Bob, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the 5 bomb. Am I crazy in thinking we might actually be a powerhouse offense this year? I really feel good about the offseason moves. I don't think it's really crazy just because we have seen Mahomes do it. We've seen Kelsey do it. I think injuries derailed what would have been a more powerful offense last year. Pacheco, Rice, Hollywood, revolving door at the left tackle spot. You would address the left tackle spot with Jalen Moore. You also draft Josh Simmons. I don't think he's going to start. I think they're going to try to rehab that knee and get it as good as humanly possible before throwing him out there. Maybe he sees some preseason action. I don't know. He wasn't doing anything at camp, rookie mini camp. It's still early, but outside of individual stretching and maybe some light drills. He wasn't doing anything crazy. But you address the O-line. The running back room, we'll see. Pacheco should bounce back from the ankle. Kareem Hunt will have a full offseason under his belt. Elijah Mitchell, he didn't play at all last year with the serious hamstring injury. I'm not going to write him off yet because Jet McKinnon, I think it was back-to-back seasons. He didn't really play football because of injuries. He came to Kansas City and had a pretty productive 3-4 year run there. So I'm going to give Elijah Mitchell the benefit of the doubt. And then obviously you drafted Brashard Smith. I will be cautiously optimistic about his impact for his rookie year, but everything goes in tandem, and you guys know this, but you have a more effective running back room. That is going to open up the offense in the pass game. And if you have Rice healthy, Worthy going into year 2, Hollywood healthy, you drafted Royals, what can you get from him out of his rookie year? You have Juju. We'll see who's wide receiver 6-ish, 6-7. Nico maybe as your returner. And he's back on the roster like last year. But yeah, I think I saw it last year too, but I see how the Chiefs offense could get back to just being a little bit more dynamic. Maybe is not lighting the league up and is the most explosive offense in the NFL as far as 20-plus yard passes downfield, 20-plus yard runs where they were the bottom 3 in the NFL last year. Even if you just see a jump to middle of the pack in some of those metrics, it's going to help so much. It's going to help so much. You guys want to see a new toy that I got? I got this mic, and it's wireless. It's on an adapter. I'm just going to go bug my dog, but I can bring the mic over there, and you guys could come hang out with me. Let me make sure you guys can hear this. Can you guys hear me? I think you can. All right. Casey. Hi, buddy. How's it going? You want to say hi? Say hi. Okay. I think they can see. Yeah. Casey, you're very popular. People like you because you're so cute. Yes, you are. I got this mic. I had this idea because sometimes I'm just sick of being chained to my desk. And I want to be able to move, especially during the long live streams. If the Chiefs do something insane during a game, I want to pick up this mic and run around, start pacing and being able to talk to you guys. I just think audio's king. So I hate walking over to the other side of the room and then you guys, me having to yell. Me having to yell at you guys from across the room. Yeah, Casey's the best. Come here. What are you doing? All right, we back. This is a fun little toy. I mean, I'm trying to upgrade the audio a little bit and just have a little bit of fun for next year. We have some ideas for this season too with the scoreboard and some stuff that we're doing, but just trying to, I don't know, trying to increase quality where we can. Yo, Logan, what's up, man? Thanks so much for the kind words. Sounds nice. Appreciate that. You definitely got that ADHD. Yeah, for sure. I just don't bounce the signed football. Yeah, so the football's there. The Andy Reid signed football is right over there. I think we're going to be fine. I'm not doing it. How much for the mic? Well, it's just a Shure SM7B. It's like whatever that is, 350, 370. Hey, Cole, what kind of music do you listen to, and why do you feel your answer is I listen to everything? I mean, I might surprise you with my answer. I made hip-hop music for like 10 years, so a lot of hip-hop if I do listen to music. These days, though, I mainly listen to like podcasts. If I have free time, if I have downtime, I'm going to watch something like when it's draft season. I'm listening to stuff about the draft or just trying to listen to something to strengthen my mind. But yeah, I do like hip hop a lot, although I grew up on Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Van Halen, Metallica, Black Sabbath, Pantera. That was like my dad and my mom, kind of. And then my mom introduced me to hip hop when I was a kid, Eminem. He was real, like, that was his heyday when he was really peaking, and nobody, like, all the parents didn't like him, but all the kids did. So I kind of appreciate most genres of music. I've even grown to appreciate country more. I used to not like country at all, but like I just don't mind it. I think just to each your own on the music genre stuff. Broncos field goal stop reaction was insane. Yeah, I definitely blacked out. I mean, I didn't really black out, but all I saw was red. My brain, when the Chiefs blocked that game-winning field goal, my brain's ability to filter and just be like think before I speak, it just went away. It went bye-bye. And I don't remember all that I said, but I said all kinds of stuff. It was really crazy. Yo, what the heck? Andy said, is the Honda Accord that you had in the Pack My Bags video the same one you have today? So we actually sold the Honda Accord and we bought a 2014 Acura SUV. I don't even know what it's called, to be honest with you. I barely leave my house, guys. Danny drives, not me. I drive on the weekend. We did upgrade the car just for safety for the family. Cole went full McCole Hardman in that moment. Yeah, exactly. When McCole Hardman caught that touchdown pass, Super Bowl 58, he's like, I don't even remember what happened. His was like, that had to have been on a much bigger scale. He caught the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. I just reacted to the Chiefs blocking a field goal in a regular season game from my basement. Yeah, I said, give me that belt. I went and ripped the belt off the wall. Which free agent signing do you think is going to have the biggest contribution? I actually like that question. Dude, it looks like there's a dead animal right here. It's one of Casey's toys, but it just looks like... Jeez, dude. It scared me. Okay, what do you guys think? If we're talking most impactful contributor that the Chiefs sign in free agency, who do you think it would be? If I had to pick... Okay, let me think for a second. I mean, you didn't have like a ton. You had Elijah Mitchell, Jalen Moore, Christian Fulton. I mean, Tillery on the D-line. I'm trying to answer without looking at you guys first. I think my hope is that it would be Jalen Moore. If you could comfortably say Jalen Moore halfway through the season, that means the left tackle spot is good to go. And that's going to fix a lot of problems. Outside of that, though, I mean, Fulton would be great. Hopefully he continues an upward trajectory. I know he was a bit up and down last year with the Chargers. Definitely Fulton, said Joe. Fulton. Yeah, because if Fulton can kind of lock down that outside spot, it allows Trent McDuffie, in theory, whenever they want, to kick into the slot. And that's just going to be so much better because you're going to have like Jalen Watson and Christian Fulton on the outside, or maybe, I don't want to put too much expectations on it, but maybe Noel Williams, the Chiefs draft pick from this year that they traded up to get, the ball hawk. Maybe he sees a little bit of playing time too. He'll see more for sure if there's injuries. But yeah, Christian Fulton panning out and just being like a serviceable, above average, outside corner, slightly above average at times even. I mean, compared to what they were trying to do last year with an outside corner opposite Trent McDuffie, it's just going to have a whole domino effect on the defense. At least it should. It definitely should. Buck and Bob, thank you again for the 5. Darrell with the 20 bomb. ETA on your blooper reel? Dude, we need to start collecting them. Yeah, I need to figure that out. We've been talking about maybe releasing like a blooper reel for members only. I need to figure that out. Oh, we got some funny ones. Because sometimes Troy, for Cole Breaks the Huddle, my second channel, he'll like sneak stuff into the script. Just like random weird phrases or maybe like a minor cuss word or something. He'll hope that I don't see it. And I read his script, but there are times where like sometimes I'm reading the script a little loosely and I miss it. And so when I'm recording, it'll be in there and I'll say it and I'm like, what the? I just start laughing. I have lots of mess ups. I was switching between Cole and Perna that game and laughed so hard when they both had the same movement and reactions for different reasons. Yeah. That was a crazy game. Okay, so Smitty said Elijah Mitchell is the free agent he thinks. Moore or Fulton said Andy. Fulton said John. Jalen Moore said Dub Freak. So 100 Chris Joneses or one massive gorilla? Oh, Chris Jones, they winning. What do you think the idea of the Chiefs trading late 2026 draft pick to the Saints for a Chris Olave? I mean, if the Saints are in definite tanking season with Derek Carr unexpectedly retiring and all that, I guess I'm not opposed to it, but I guess why? Maybe if injuries hit the room. Because I feel like the Chiefs are they're pretty all right in the wide receiver room. I mean, he's got 1 year, he's on the last year of his rookie deal, 1.1 million base, 6 million cap hit. You're not going to trade him this year. I wouldn't think. 21.6 million dead money. Now his club option, his 5th year option is next year. I don't know. I don't think it's needed, but if injuries hit the room or something, I wouldn't hate it. If the Saints are in tank mode, come on now. Rick with the 14 months. How about those Chiefs? First shout out, Cole. Let's go, Rick. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate you being here. 14 months. Let's go. Brooks. Oh, shoot. Brooks, what's up, man? I'm doing great. Yeah. Cole, when you said balls to the wall, lost it. I don't even remember when I said that. Did I say that just now? I just be talking. I try to think about what I say, but you got to speak fast in a Q&A. You got to be quick, on your feet, like a ninja. I don't know. If Josh Simmons comes back close to 100%, is this the best O-line of the Mahomes era? Of the Mahomes era? I mean, maybe. Here's the thing. Left guard is a question mark. I'm not going to ignore that. I'm not going to pretend that's not there. Joe Tooney's gone. So I really don't know. Because Joe Tooney was great. Elite left guard. So it's tough for me to say that it would be for sure the best offensive line of the Mahomes era. But honestly, like as long as you have, you'd have Creed, super solid center. Right guard is locked down with Trey Smith. As long as your 2 tackles hold up, I mean, you just need a serviceable left guard and you're fine. Oh, I said it on Cole Breaks the Huddle. Did I say that today? What's up, Juliana? Olave has those concussion problems. Yeah, I think decal, that's why you could say, hey, we'll trade Chris Olave for just like a late round pick. But yeah, he's had how many concussions? I'm going to ask. How many concussions? Yeah, as Chris Olave had. At the end of the 2023 NFL season, Chris Olave suffered 4 concussions in his career. Man. Wasn't it last year yeah, they shut him down, I believe. He got concussed, missed some games, came back, got concussed again, and they shut him down. I was told the rumor on Facebook today that we were acquiring Amari today. Now, I don't believe anything you ever see on Facebook. I don't know what it is about that website, about that platform, social media platform. It is full of fake news. I'm sure false reports and stuff are on every social media platform. It's just very easy to identify what's real and what's not to me on X because I know the accounts. I've got certain accounts followed and notifications turned on for those accounts. But Facebook and even Instagram, man, they just be popping stuff up. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are pregnant. They're getting married and he's retiring. It's like, what? None of that is even true. But it has 5,000 likes, 500,000 views, 50,000 shares. And I'm like, how? This is insane. It's just rampant, really bad false reports, fake news. So no, that's not true. Yeah, you immediately went to X. Yeah, smart idea. It's brain rot. And it's not even that either. I just think certain people consume platforms a little bit more than the other for preferences. But yeah, I've had a family member ask me for a couple times before Mahomes and Brittany actually had their last baby. It was like, hey, I saw Mahomes was pregnant. That's awesome. I was like, they're not. So crazy, huh? Denise with the 29 months. Good to see you. Oh, good to see you, Denise. Do you think the Chiefs will take Snead if he's released? Is Snead a sneaky... Is he a cut candidate? April 15th. Chiefs could... Well, so he is going through some potential legal issues. But yeah, there's an article from Athlon Sports that's just saying Chiefs could sign Titan star if cut due to legal issues. L'Jarius Sneed's future with Tennessee is already murky. Yeah, because he didn't play much last year because of his injury. He was limited to just 5 games. But he's supposedly being sued for driving past a vehicle and somebody shooting out of Sneed's car at another vehicle, never hit it. The bullets just missed. It's a very weird ordeal. I talked about it in Cole Breaks the Huddle, my second channel, maybe a month ago when it happened. But he's only 1 year into a 4-year, $76 million contract, and they would take on $31 million in dead money to cut him this year. So I don't think this year happens. I don't think that happens. Now, could you see L'Jarius Sneed return to the Chiefs eventually? I mean, maybe. I'm not going to rule it out, but man, it's always much respect to Sneed. Really appreciate all he did for the kingdom. I don't have Twitter, said Allie, so I just wait till a football YouTuber I watch reports on something, or Ian Rappaport on Instagram. There you go. Yeah, if you don't have Twitter or X, there's Blue Sky. There are some verified accounts on there. I'm not on there much, but I do have an account. Ian Rappaport, I think Schefter, those guys are on there. But that's actually smart. Follow some of those guys on ESPN, or on Instagram, rather. That's probably a good idea to make sure that the news you're getting is legit. Or yeah, if I report on it, I would like to say it's legit. I mean, if it's a speculative rumor in my videos, I'll say, hey, this is just a rumor. Here's what's being said, and here's why I don't think it could happen, or maybe it could happen. There could be some merit to it. I always try to be accurate in my videos. There are times where we're about to export a video and an update comes out, and it's 5:50, almost 6 o'clock, almost 7 o'clock sometimes, and there's an update. And I'm like, I refuse to export this video until we get that update in there, just because it adds more context to the situation or whatever's going on. Sometimes it's not always the best to be first when you're sharing news and updates and giving thoughts on it, especially with legal issues. And I think a recent example of that, honestly, was the Xavier Worthy situation, because he got the charges dismissed the same day or the next day after he was in jail. And so I had to go make another video. When you write articles, it's easy. No, it's not easy to write articles, but it's easy to add corrections to an already published article. Like if there's an update to some situation with a football player, a Chiefs player, you could just hit edit on the article and add an edit. You can't edit a YouTube video. You can't press edit and add in an update. So you got to make another one. That's why I'm always like, I try to be really careful about when I actually do drop a YouTube video, but sometimes you just have to say, hey, this is the most up-to-date news we have. If there's an update, I'll report on it the next day. Clark said, I appreciated how you handled the Worthy situation. Yeah, I mean, that was such a crazy... It was such a crazy update to the case so quickly. I had to go back downstairs immediately and make another video, because with the DA dismissing his charges, he's basically saying, yeah, they talked to multiple witnesses and there was just not enough to go on. If the DA with such serious allegations is going to drop that, you just don't have much to go on. And it really tipped the scales back into a more positive direction for Worthy, where it looked really bad initially. So yeah, well, of course, once that update came out, I just looked at my wife. We had a weekend with no kids that weekend. And I was like, yeah, I got to go back downstairs. I mean, I thought it was very important for the integrity of the channel to put out another video as soon as humanly possible when the Worthy news dropped. If it wasn't that important, like if it wasn't a legal issue, I might have waited till the next day or something. But when you're dealing with really sensitive stuff like that, that's why some people just don't report on it at all. Like, I don't think KCSN at times or just other RGR, like, I don't think they're always talking about that stuff. If it gets big enough, yeah, they'll mention it. But sometimes it's just better to, or safer, to just not and just stick with the X's and O's on the field stuff. But sometimes you just can't avoid it and you have to talk about it. Yo, what's up, Red Pill? What up, man? Rank Rice, Worthy, Hollywood, Kelsey, Gray, and Royals with health based off of receiving yards? Ooh. Okay. If I had to pick this year and Rice wasn't suspended, let's say no suspension for Rice and no injuries all year, how do you think the receiving room could pan out, or just a pass catching room in general could pan out from a production standpoint? What's up, Johnny? What's up, man? You're eating some mac and cheese? Let's go. Yeah, let me know in the chat who you think like the top 3 receiving leaders are going to be this year. I'm going to go Rice. Again, this is like if he's not suspended. I am also assuming he's going to bounce basically completely back from that knee injury. I'm going to go Rice, Worthy, Kelsey. I don't know if it's actually like that. It's probably still going to be Kelsey right up there. But I just wonder when they're going to kind of offset Kelsey's workload. And I think they were doing that last year until Rice went down. All you need to do this year for Travis Kelce, yes, have him out there. I'm not saying don't, but limit his snap counts a little bit, or his snap percentage somewhat if you can, and just make sure he gets to the playoffs healthy and then turn that man loose. He's going to want to be out there every single snap, but he played a career high in snaps from a snap percentage standpoint last year. It wasn't a career high, but it was like the highest he's played from a snap percentage standpoint in like 5 years, which is pretty crazy. Worthy, Hollywood, Kelsey, said Red Pill. Rice, Hollywood, Worthy, so Kelsey not even in there. The Chiefs signed Deshaun Watson? I hope not. I hope not. Who's going to sign Isaiah Bond? And who's going to sign Justin Tucker? If you had to guess, who's signing those guys? Kathy Franklin with the 5-bomb. Hey, Cole, tomorrow's my birthday. Go Chiefs. Happy birthday, Kathy. Let's go. I don't have a cool effect. I was going to try to press like a happy birthday button, but I don't have one. You think the Browns get Tucker? I mean, I just don't know if any team would really sign Isaiah Bond. If you don't know who that is, he's a wide receiver that was projected to be a third-round pick out of Texas, former teammate of Xavier Worthy. He went undrafted because of SA allegations. And he's out on bond he's in the middle of a charge or pending charge or case. He's like working through that. He went undrafted. He was a projected third-round pick, went undrafted. I don't think any team wants anything to do with them until the legal stuff gets figured out. I also wonder I don't really know about the Justin Tucker thing at all. Like the Ravens released him. It was kind of like the Sean Watson-esque with all those allegations, right, from the massage therapists. But surely Justin Tucker's not done, right, in the NFL? I don't know. Tough to say. Booker T with the 20 bomb. Loving the chat, Cole. Thank you, man. Any info on Patrick's brother Graham? The only info that I have on Graham is he did not get offered a contract after his minicamp tryout. Sure, most of you know, but Graham Walker is a half-brother of Patrick Mahomes. He was like a tight end wide receiver in college, got invited to Chiefs minicamp. So he got invited, but did not get offered a contract. But 4 days ago, he visits another AFC team. Walker's name was not called during the 2025 NFL Draft. However, he received a coveted invite to Chiefs minicamp. Yeah, but I thought he went... Did he go somewhere else? They were making it seem like he went somewhere else. Oh, he's tried out with the Panthers today. That was on May 9th. I don't know if he made the roster. I don't think he did. So that's where he was last. That was last weekend with the Panthers. Yo, FLDB with a 10 bomb. I'm blue, da ba dee da ba die. I have a blue house with a blue window. What is that? That's not Maroon 5. Is it? Nah. I'm blue. Who is it? Eiffel 65. Wrong number. I was going to say Eiffel. Yeah. That's from 1999? Wow. Holy smokes, FLDB. Thanks so much for the 10 bomb. Darrell said Walker's a stud. He was not released. No, if you're talking about Graham Walker, he got a minicamp invite and he never got offered a contract. So you don't have to be released if you were never signed. Buck and Bob said Graham was at a camp to allow him to get tape, giving him a chance to land on a team. Yeah, and then he went to the Panthers camp right after that. Cole, just want to say proud of you, bro. Ryan, what's up, man? Watch both of your channels grow. Been watching since the beginning. Ryan, let's go, man. Thank you so much. It has been a wild journey, and it's a lot of fun. I feel like we're pretty much carved out the lane of both of these channels and kind of got a pretty good grasp on how to go about them. And yeah, like I'm not going to ever be as funny as Perna or any of those guys, but we got random humor from time to time. But the gist of the channels for me is like, okay, how can I give you guys as much info as humanly possible in a quick amount of time or a short amount of time as possible? And that's just the goal of the channels. And I'm really glad that you guys enjoy it. Let's go. Who's the biggest hidden gem that could impress during training camp? I mean, when I think of hidden gems, it's like who was on the roster that could make a push that you didn't expect to. So I just like automatically go to UDFAs. Brandon George, the linebacker that had a 9.98 relative athletic score. Elijah Badger, wide receiver that the Chiefs signed after the draft. Jake Brenningstool, the tight end out of Clemson, is a guy. I mean, those are a few that come to mind that could impress during training camp. Yeah, I think those guys could make a push during training camp. Maybe. I mean, It's hard to know until the pads come on, right? And honestly, maybe it's draft picks. Maybe Jalen Royal starts to rise above. Maybe it's Brashard Smith. I will say this, Rashee Rice was quietly, like everybody is always excited about the draft picks or undrafted guys that are new. They like the new toys. But by all accounts and reports, Rashee Rice was having like just a fantastic training camp last year. And then he came out firing on all cylinders, basically going nuclear until he got injured. So it all checked out. What's up, Jose? You're always singing the intro to Cole Breaks the Huddle. Let's go, Johnny. I think the Chiefs did themselves a disservice by bringing back Travis Kelce when he's obviously aging. If you look at the Super Bowl footage, glaring, he might wind up hurting more than helpful. I mean, he's still under contract for his last year, so you're not really going to move on from him based on the way that the contract's structured. And, I mean, he still had... Hey, can you focus up, camera? He still had a game of over 100 yards in the playoffs. This was Brett Veach. Nobody else has really said this, but he said Travis Kelce was really sick leading up to the Super Bowl and played sick. I don't know if that's true, but if that's the case, it kind of checks out because he was like kind of giving up on plays. They were also getting their kicked. And so, yeah, sometimes the effort on some of those plays from Kelce was questionable, at least in the Super Bowl. If he was sick, it makes sense, but I have no way to confirm that. It's not really like making an excuse of why the Chiefs lost or anything like that. No. But if he was sick, it makes a little bit more sense. Regardless, I think it's fine to have him back for one more year. He was still top 5 in most tight end metrics in the entire NFL. The average age of a tight end is like 27 years old, just somewhere right in there, 26, 27. He was doing that at 34. Top 5 in most categories. Have there been reports on Rice's knee, asks Matt. Matt Miller? Matt Miller from ESPN, the draft guy? What's up? No, I'm just playing. I mean, just the reports are he looks great. He was running around at OTAs with Mahomes and everybody, had no restrictions. And he's on pace to be a full go for this season. We got a new leak, kind of. Not a leak. Yeah, a leak. The Cam Ward era for the Titans will begin on the road in Denver versus the Broncos on Sunday, September 7th. That's week 1. Let's go. Do we have any more schedule leaks? No, the Giants are hosting Gabe Davis on a visit. All right. Let's go. We'll take that. FLDB, thanks again for the 10 bomb. Yeah, thank you, Chiefs fan. Thanks for the kind words, man. Go Chiefs. I think your comment got hidden on accident. You're way too modest, Cole, but that is also part of your charm. Flow and editing is top notch. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, at the end of the day, I think if you just stay humble and hungry and you just treat something like it was at the beginning, I think that's just the best way to go. So I just treat this channel like I still had, I mean, I probably even do it more professionally and more respectable than I did when I had 20,000 subs. I was going off on whoever, whenever, but it's just like, why? I did it to just kind of make you guys laugh. And I still do it from time to time, but I would rather address somebody with a serious question that's always in chat that just wants to talk Chiefs than like a random troll. But yeah, I don't ever like, who cares, to be honest? Like, it's cool that I have almost 300,000 subs, but like, who cares at the end of the day? Subs don't really mean that much. What really matters is, are you delivering quality content and being just the best you can be for your audience? I mean, it's cool that I have the subs. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to come off as like dismissive and ungrateful, because I'm very grateful. But at the end of the day, we've seen it when people start to climb and grow, they forget about where they came from. They forget about those humble beginnings. They forget what it took to get there. And I don't ever want to forget. I don't ever want to lose that. I just think it's very important. You think Patrick should have more say on offensive calls? Asked Harry. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how often he's having input, but I know he can change the play at the line. They typically have like a predetermined play call, but he's really good at kind of dissecting defenses pre-snap. When you say more say, like would I like to see maybe the Chiefs run more hurry-up offense and Mahomes just kind of orchestrates the offense and lines them up? Yes, but that's just not how they do it. They like to huddle as quickly as possible. Mahomes wants that play call. That's why he's doing this. He's doing this. Everybody makes fun of the little hand thing that he does. I don't even know how he does it. But when he's doing this, he wants the play call from the offensive coordinator. He wants it now because he wants to be able to communicate that full play call, get to the line, and then start to dissect the defense. So I think Mahomes is just fine with the procedure. Andy Reid looks at the play sheet or knows the next play, gives Nagy a code word, a 1 to 2 code word that is actually represents a full play call. Nagy, based on those code words, locates the full play call, gives it to Mahomes. They get to the line as quickly as possible, and then Mahomes starts looking at the defense and seeing what needs to change, if anything, as far even just like sliding protection and stuff like that. But yeah, a little bit more hurry up from time to time would be kind of fun. It would be kind of different. John said, is it too early to say the Chiefs are going to be good this year? Or they're going to look so good this year? I think it's too early for any massive hot take. But that's not really a hot take. To say the Chiefs, the team that made it to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, is once again going to be pretty good and probably make another deep playoff run. No, that's not too early to say that because you're looking at past data to reach your conclusion. It's like massively obvious data. 7 AFC championships in a row or whatever it is now. 7, 8, 5 Super Bowl appearances in 6 years. The floor of Patrick Mahomes is overtime in the AFC championship. It's definitely not crazy to say that the Chiefs are going to be good this year. It's more crazy like what ESPN does. The Chiefs' reign is over. They're done. How the do you know that? What are you basing that off of? Aside from you are enslaved to your employer and they say, here, little puppet, you say this today. And you try to prove your point and you can't deviate from that opinion. They do it on purpose. They got the yin and the yang on these debate shows. They do it on purpose. And it works sometimes. People love it. Or they hate it and they engage with it anyway. So anyway, I don't think it's a hot take to say that the Chiefs are going to be really good this year. I understand when some people are saying, oh, it's the Chiefs can only hang on for so long. I mean, okay, but they still have. Can you focus up, camera? I'm giving a speech. Not really. I'm ranting. But they still have Mahomes. They still have Kelsey. They still have Andy Reid. They got Rice. They've got Chris Jones. They've got, pick your poison. They got Trey McDuffie. There are some question marks. Joe Tooney's gone. Justin Reed's gone. That's probably the biggest question mark for me on both sides of the ball. I still think they're going to be really good. Now, other teams in the AFC and the AFC West in particular have gotten better. The Raiders definitely got better. There's no denying that. The Raiders got better. I still think they finished 4th in the AFC West. The Broncos are going to be a problem. They're going to be a hard team to go against. So are the Chargers. I still think the Chiefs win the West. That's not even a hot take. Is Patrick Mahomes in his prime or leaving his prime? Well, he's only 29. I think he turns 30 this year. I would say he's still in his prime. From a QB perspective, I think so. Hot take, Bills defense won't be great and offense won't be improved. Wild card team. Ooh, that is kind of a hot take. They made it to the conference championship last year. Honestly, man, I'm not even being a hater because I think the Bills are a good team. I think Josh Allen is a very talented quarterback. They got James Cook, a couple good tight ends over there. You've got Shakir. Like, they've got good pieces. But the Ravens look the better team in the divisional round. They just turned the ball over 3 times. You can't do that and win playoff games. The margin of error, it's too thin. You can't do that. Even with the 3 turnovers, the Ravens were a 2-point conversion attempt away from tying the game. I'm not saying they would have won it, but I'm just saying if they just would have played cleaner, it was probably Ravens-Chiefs conference championship, but that's how it goes. If, we hear that all freaking year. If the refs. No. The Chiefs blocked the field goal at the end of the Broncos game. It's over. Hold the L. No, Isaiah likely should have wore smaller cleats. He stepped out of bounds. It's over. Hold the L. Like, if. I'm sick of the if game. But I was just trying to be a little bit, how do I want to say it? When I was just talking about the teams, I'm trying to look at it, not biased, and just give credit where credit is due. But the Bills, that'd be interesting if they were a wild card team this year. I just feel like the Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, as long as you got those quarterbacks, even the Bengals, if they could figure out their defense, which I don't know if they did or not, we'll see. Those guys are always going to be in the conversation of problematic teams in the playoffs. Now, you got to make it there, Bengals, okay? But the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs are always going to be a problem. And obviously the Chiefs are on the throne. They're on the Game of Thrones in the AFC. Somebody else has to knock them off. And they're the ones reigning on the throne right now. Pac West with the 20 bomb. Let's go. Thank you, man. K Wright with the 2. Crazy. Vikings playing Dublin and London, weeks 4 to 5. Yeah, back-to-back weeks overseas, 2 different countries. The first time that's ever happened in NFL history, I believe. If it's not NFL history, it's in a long time, which is pretty cool. Brenda with the 5 great rant. Cole, love it. Hey, I haven't had a rant in a little while. We ranted a little bit today. We did a lot. We do a lot more rants during the season. But thank you, Brenda. Let's go. Thanks for the 5. Jennifer with the 10 bomb. Thanks so much, everybody. Hot take. Steelers have first below 500 season for the first time in the Tomlin 10-year missing playoffs. I don't know if that's a hot take, especially if they don't have Aaron Rodgers. I'm not even saying with Aaron Rodgers they'll finish above 500. But who's there? Tyler Shuck? That guy, he's a Steeler, right? They drafted Tyler Shuck. It's Shough, but I'm pretty sure he's a Steeler. I just want to make sure. No, he's a Saint. Dang it. Who did the Steelers get? No, Tyler Shuck is going to make a push for the starter for the Saints because Derek Carr retired. They got Spencer Rattler as well, and I think Jake Haener. Who's this? Okay, Steelers depth chart. You have Mason Rudolph, but do they have somebody else? Didn't they draft somebody? Will Howard. They drafted Will Howard in the 6th round. You have Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and Skylar Thompson. If you, that's not a 5. I don't know, dude. I do not know. You have DK Metcalf, but I don't know if it's a hot take, especially if they don't get Rodgers. Now, if your hot take is, hey, even with Aaron Rodgers, they finished below 500. I mean, that happened with the Jets last year, so it's definitely possible. Long downfall to the Bills, Bengals, Raiders, Eagles, and Broncos. Long live the Chiefs. Let's go, kiddist. Yeah, the Steelers got Will Howard. Thanks, Sean. I don't know why I said Tyler Shuck. I was just wrong. We talked about all of that in the last couple of videos on Cole Breaks the Huddle, and sometimes my wires get crossed. Best football live stream, said Jacob. Keep up the good work, brother. Look forward to seeing you during the season. Heck yeah, Jacob. Let's go, man. The season is only June, July, August. I mean, in 3 months from now, preseason will be here. So we're getting close. We are as far away from basically the Super Bowl as we are to the next season. So the Super Bowl ended mid-February. It's now mid-May. It's been 3 months. We are basically halfway through the offseason with the hardest part still to go. Yeah, Tyler Shuck's the Saints QB. Yeah, I was just wrong. Gilbert said Eagles exposed Andy Reid. The question is, can Reid adapt? I mean, when you say exposed Andy Reid, if by that you meant Joe Tooney, their left guard, was out at left tackle and the D-line dominated them in the trenches and did all they could to take away Mahomes' first read. I mean, I've seen Andy Reid lose a few games pretty badly, but I'm not overly concerned that they're just not going to be able to overcome that Super Bowl loss and not make it back to another deep playoff run or anything like that. But your question is, can Andy Reid adapt? I mean, Andy Reid is kind of who he is at this point in time, which is kind of why I would have liked maybe a new face in the offensive coaching staff room to help with the play calls or just the game plan, not to call the plays or anything like that, because that's Andy Reid, but sometimes it would be nice to have a fresh face in there. With that being said, I still think Andy Reid is a great offensive-minded coach. You just needed to fix a few things. The running back room needs to be more explosive. Hopefully you get that. The O-line needs to hold up, and you're trying to address that. Then the wide receiver room just needs to stay healthy. So the offense was painfully slow off the line, and you went and got the fastest receiver in this draft class from a 10-yard split perspective. Jalen Royals had the fastest 10-yard split in this draft class. Hollywood, fast. Just got to get him healthy. Rice, extremely quick burst. You then got Brashard Smith, third fastest running back in this draft class, receiving back. I mean, you're trying to do things to address the problems that were presented to you in the Super Bowl. Definitely trying. What position would you play in football, Cole? I mean, back when I could run around and be crazy, I don't think I could have been a cornerback. Maybe like a slot receiver. Like, corner is an option, but I'd have to be like Cooper DeJean athletic, and I just don't think I was quite there. If it's not that, kicker, because I played soccer for 10 years and trained in Taekwondo. Kicker? How's that? Sean said, history has shown after Andy Reid gets embarrassed, he comes back with a vengeance. Andy Reid, after losses like that.
I am vengeance.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Come on now. Casey with the 5. Oh, I missed this tonight. What's up, Casey? What's the hottest news for the Chiefs I missed? Keep up the great content. Let's freaking go. Well, thank you so much. You didn't really miss anything major because there's not a lot of Chiefs news out right now. The schedule releases tomorrow. There wasn't a ton of news. I think, by the way, the title of this stream, talking about they hate the Chiefs but let them weep, is because that ESPN video trailer that released today is all comments. Not watching that. Yeah, the Chiefs, blah, blah, blah. It's like, come on, dude. They are going to do whatever they can to discredit greatness. We've seen it year in and year out. We saw it happen with the Patriots. But the Patriots actually had like multiple legitimate scandals, even though I still think Tom Brady is one of the best to ever do it. You're going to do whatever you can when you're sick of seeing a team win to just hate on them no matter what. I hated the Patriots with a passion. So like, I get it. It's like, just let them weep. Let them cry on social media. Cole is the Harrison Butker replacement. I'd be a safety. There you go. Not quite fast enough. Safety. I would need to stock up a little bit. I mean, at one point in time, I was like 210, 6'2", 210, but I don't think that's enough. That wouldn't have been enough mass. Well, maybe. Justin Reed's 6'1", 210. Not now. I'm just going to call the game. I'll just tell you that. The Ginger Ninja. That's crazy. I haven't seen that video yet. Sounds pretty typical, though. Yeah, it's just a trailer of the documentary coming out about the Chiefs. This year it's coming out, but it was detailing their three-peat run, their attempt at a three-peat. But it's just the comments. I just laugh at the comments. If our O-line comes through, said Casey, we're going to be good again this year. Man, that is the hope. You see Jaden Hicks being a solid starter next year? I mean, dreams, he kind of has to be. You let Justin Reed walk, and I think it's because they're very confident, very high on Jaden Hicks. He has to step up. Now, even if the safety room takes like a small step back, if that cornerback room just elevates a couple notches up from last year, I think you're going to be okay. I could see him sneaking up to the line of scrimmage to go sack QB. Not no more, guys. Not no more. You know what's crazy? I just interviewed Jason Dunn with Chief Concerns, but he was a former tight end for 10, 11 years in the NFL with the Eagles and then predominantly with the Chiefs. He was 34 his last year in the NFL. Kelsey's 35, going to be 36. I'm 34 now. Ain't no way I'm going to be running around out there right now taking those hits. So hats off to these guys being able to do that. That's insane. Probably be Casey Wolf. There we go. Heading to Vegas tomorrow, said Dave. Going to see Patrick's other house. You going to the Raiders Stadium? What are you doing? What are you doing over there in Vegas, Dave? Kelsey lost 25 pounds, supposedly. Yeah, I did see that. But who said that? If it's Kelsey himself, then okay. Oh, okay. Chiefs tight end Travis Kelsey. So if this is from Kelsey himself, then okay, that's fine. He told reporters that he lost around 25 pounds this offseason in an effort to be in better shape for what he believed to be his final season. I would need to go hear that. But, okay. I mean, 25 pounds? Unless he just gained some in the offseason and he's just kind of cutting. I don't know. Either way, I'm trusting he's working hard and getting ready for the season. Can Kelsey still block? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's never been known as like an elite blocker. He's predominantly a receiving tight end, but he can still block. The knock on Kelsey that he can't block is just literally untrue. He blocks quite a bit, and he's often very effective. Yeah, that's a lot. Exactly, Ivan. That's quite a bit of weight. I think Mahomes will develop enough trust to start throwing long passes again now that hopefully he won't have to worry about his blind side. I mean, that's the hope, Valerie, because he was the most hit quarterback in the NFL last year. Nobody took more hits than Mahomes. And maybe part of that is holding onto the ball too long, but some of that is just, we just watched left tackle after left tackle after left tackle, and sometimes left guard Caliendo just get scorched immediately once the ball was snapped. You've got to fix that. If you can fix that, I think it just helps everything. Because, yes, there were times Mahomes was thinking he was going to get hit and just got rid of the ball super quick. Or there were times when he wasn't going to get hit, but he was seeing ghosts. Yeah, so if you could get the line to hold up a little bit, I think it's definitely going to help. And just having Rice healthy, Hollywood healthy, Worthy out there, Royals maybe contributing to some extent, that's definitely going to help too. Where is Connor, 27, going to fit into the defense next year, and your thoughts on him? That's a good question, Dreams. I mean, hopefully he's not playing as much in the slot as he did last year, and maybe you just see him rotate in more as at one of the safety spots, and I don't even know how much that is, but Brian Cook's on the last year of his deal, so maybe it's a bit more of what is Chamari Connor going to do in the next couple of years after this, but we'll see. He's going to be valuable depth. He's going to get worked in and rotate. He'll probably play in the slot a little bit too. Like, I'm not sitting here saying McDuffie's going to play in the slot every snap this year. I have no idea how much he'll actually play in the slot, but I am hopeful that Chamari Connor bounces back a little bit. And Brian Cook too. I feel like he had a bit of a down year last year compared to the year prior before he hurt his ankle. Juan, what's up, man? Interesting story. I want to say this last stream, but just missed you. Me and my cousin met Eric Berry one time outside of an Apple store in the plaza back in 2015. I wasn't sure if it was him, but my cousin was certain, and it truly was him. Got photos with him, and still a great memory for us when we were in our teens. Eric Berry. Man, the NFL just released like 11 minutes of Eric Berry highlights last week, and that's so cool. But what's he up to these days? Eric Berry. Love that. That's a cool story. Cole, dude, it feels like it's been forever since I've seen your videos pop up on my feed. Miss watching, man. You're the GOAT. Corey, thanks so much, man. Yeah, the algorithm is super smart, the YouTube algorithm. So if you've been into other subjects right now in the offseason or whatever, and you've kind of been just avoiding more Chiefs videos in general, I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I don't know. But they'll start pushing those other stuff you've been interested in into your feed. It's so funny. I've been watching some podcasts after what's the show I've been watching? The Last of Us. I like to watch a couple podcasts, just like one or two like quick videos with like Easter eggs and stuff you missed because I played the video games. I played the Last of Us video games. So I've been liking the show. It's been nice to have just like a Sunday night where it's like, oh, my show's dropping. Well, YouTube knows every single Sunday or Monday that I want to watch the Last of Us videos, and it pushes them to my feed, which is pretty crazy. I'm not subbed to any of these channels. The algorithm's just super smart. Wait, what happened? Mahomes protected and able to do his thing. No one can beat him. Factual. Eric Berry is the man. Exactly. Screen Crush is great for that? Yeah. Is Screen Crush the guy that talks to his dog? If so, I do watch that one. He's pretty good. But heck yeah, that's one of the exact channels. Nice. Let's see, what Chiefs players have I met? I haven't really met a lot. I met Mahomes at his gala. I didn't know I was going to meet him. He walked in. I was in like the pre-party VIP, and he was taking pictures with everybody, and I was like, I mean, I can get in line too? Like, I was invited by Chiefs VIDS. I had no idea what was going on. I was like talking to somebody over here, and they're like, yeah, we flew in on our private jet for the event tonight. And I'm like, oh, God, I rode over in my 2004 Honda Accord with 300,000 miles. Nice to meet you. I got to meet Rashee Rice. My daughter got to meet Rashee Rice when he was doing some signings with Chiefs VIDS. And I'm trying to remember. My daughter just never forgot that. Rice signed her a little bit of something. Who else? I got to meet Creed Humphrey. I asked him about his favorite beer when he was signing some stuff back with Chiefs VIDS. So, yeah, there's just a few people that I've met. I met other Chiefs players like back in the day when I was a kid. I ran into Neil Smith like at the grocery store, Hy-Vee. He was doing a signing. My wife was like, yo, this is Neil Smith's here. I was like, oh, crazy. I got a Neil Smith jersey. I used to have it up on the wall, I think. We went and got it, and he already signed it. But I was like, hey, I got your jersey. You want to write something else on it? I don't know. Because he was already signing. He was like almost done packing up. Nefarious with the 18 months, seeing the drama in Buffalo, Cincy, Houston, Tennessee, and Raiders makes me so glad I'm a Chiefs fan. Browns got lucky with Shador, though. Yeah, we'll see about Shador. I have no idea what to expect of him initially. He's going to be fighting alongside, who was the other QB the Browns drafted? That was a crazy ordeal. They drafted Dylan Gabriel was the other guy. Yeah, we'll definitely see. There's some drama going on. I mean, the Bengals one's the craziest to me with Trey Hendrickson and his contract issues. He went to practice. He's kind of holding out right now until he gets a new contract. That's a pretty wild situation. Unfortunate for sure. JPAP with the 2. Mahomes is happy Mavs bailed out by draft lottery. Dude, I saw that. I don't really follow basketball, NBA too much, but I saw they had a 1% chance the Mavs did of drawing the number 1 overall pick, and they did it. I was like, 1.8% chance? KSU said we forget Neil has 2 rings. MVP. No, not really MVP, but yeah, still a legend. And he did switch teams, but he lives in like Lee Summit. He like lives around here. Trey Hendrickson is going to be collateral damage for the Bengals being cheap. Yeah, I mean, you signed Jamar Chase, you signed T. Higgins, and Trey Hendrickson said he's not playing until he gets paid. I mean, the guy has had back-to-back seasons of 17.5 sacks. Not 17.5 sacks in 2 years. 17.5 sacks in each season. 35 sacks in 2 years. That is unreal. Pay the man. I know he's 30, but like, he deserves money. He deserves a payday. I mean, what else does he got to do? Crazy. You see the John Madden movie coming out with Nick Cage as Madden and Christian Bale as Al Davis? I did not. Really? John Madden movie? What? Your first look at Nicolas Cage as Madden and Christian Bale as Al Davis. No way. No way. That's crazy. We got Batman being Al Davis. That's pretty cool. We'll take that. Yeah, pay the man. Yes, sir, Joe. Henderson is partially why we picked Simmons at 32. Well, yeah, because I know exactly what you're saying, KSU, because Hendrickson is the reason why Kingsley Suamataia lost his job. His starting job is at the left tackle spot. Single-handedly caused Kingsley to get benched. You love to meet players. Thanks, Cole. Great Q&A. Good night, guys. Always great. Thank you, Terry. Yeah, it's always surreal when you meet a Chiefs player because it's just like, well, first it's like, dude, you are a massive human being. Like Creed Humphrey, just dude was a tank. And I remember I was like, hey, do you like Tank 7? Because it's like my favorite beer. Most of you guys know that. He's like, yeah, Tank 7? Oh, dude, you gotta have you just have like 3 or 4 of those in the night and you're good. It's like 3 or 4 Tank 7s. Those are 8.5%. It was pretty funny. You went to school with, you went to school with Derek Thomas's son and dated Neil Smith's niece? What? Dude, what? Small world. That's crazy, actually. Man, Derek Thomas. Man, that was the player we watched growing up. That was my dad's favorite player too. Crazy. Well, guys, it is 9:36. I'm going to go ahead and call it, but I appreciate everybody hanging out. Thanks so much for just being supportive, and thanks for the questions, the mods holding it down, the supers, the memberships, the gifteds. I just appreciate being able to do these and hang out with you guys. It's much different than like a pre-recorded video because I get to interact with you, and it's always fun. It's always a blast. Appreciate y'all. I'm going to go give Casey a treat and get ready for bed. But we'll be back tomorrow. Schedule release. There's a lot to talk about and process through. So until next time, let's go. After Marcus is gifted. Thank you, bro.
How about those Chiefs?